We long to return to our motherland as soon as possible, but just not to survive. We wish to live with dignity, in peace and safety, with the full recognition of our basic human rights. We dream of a future built on religious harmony. But there are some factors that are preventing us from returning to our home, from returning to Myanmar. One of them is absence of citizenship and rights. The denial of our citizenship remains the greatest obstacle. Without legal recognition as citizens of Myanmar, we fear that we will be remaining voiceless, stateless, and excluded from the opportunities to live a dignified life. The second is militarization and ongoing violence. The Myanmar military and the Arakan army have been the very force of our suffering, killing, displacement, and the massacres. As we know, over 150,000 Rohingya people were forced to flee again just last year to Bangladesh, joining us. And even today, you can see, if you go to Naf River, you can see the Rohingya crossing the river, fleeing to Bangladesh. We are getting the news from the ground, from our community, from our brothers and sisters, how they are suffering, the atrocities, how they are facing the daily arbitrary detention, the massacres, the shielding, and even today there are more than 5,000 people just waiting at the border to cross the border to come to the refugee camp in Cox's Bazar to join us, because there are unrest, atrocities committed by the Arakan army, the rebel group. So no one feels safe to return under such conditions. We need to make it safe. We need to make it safer for us. So we would like to go back and we can rebuild. For that, we call the international community, especially we have the IIMM, IIMM, the Fortify Rights and other human rights organizations. Please push your governments, please push ICC and ICJ to hold the perpetrators accountable and to bring them to your justice mechanism, to your arrest them, release the arrest warrants, and take action against all perpetrators. So, lack of accountability, this lack of accountability is one of the challenges that are preventing us from going to Myanmar. Not a single perpetrator of genocide against Rohingya has been held accountable yet till today. So with the justice and guarantees of non-repetition, we fear history will repeat itself. And destruction of homes and livelihoods. Our villages were burned to ash. Our lands, our farms, our livelihoods and our homes were systematically confiscated and destroyed. We cannot return to nothing without the restoration of our property and the means to rebuild our life. A sustainable and dignified return is not possible. As one of my previous speakers explained how he could not complete his graduation, he could not go to university to study higher education in Myanmar. Same as to me, I faced the same. I was studying in the second year in the City University in 2012, and there was the riots, the religious violence against Rohingya people, and I was excluded from my university, and I could not I could not complete my graduation. Our education was totally banned. Our movement was totally banned. We were totally restricted. We could not even go to visit our relatives in other village. If these are one of the main challenges that force us to flee from the country. That we fear if we face again, if we go back to Myanmar without all of this, without solving all of these issues. So we imagine a normal life, like many of seek knowledge and expand our horizon. We cannot rely solely on the promises from Myanmar military or the Arkhan army, who themselves carried out genocide against us. They are perpetrators. They killed our mothers, sisters. They raped our mothers and sisters. They killed my people. So, what will satisfy us is the guarantee of safety, dignity, and rights. We will only feel safe if there is a strong international presence, the UN peacekeepers, the United Nations, Asian member states, and other credible actors monitoring our rights and security on the ground. And most importantly, we need to empower ourselves. We need to be equipped to protect us, to protect ourselves, to defend our community by ourselves. So we can make it safer for my community. We also look to Bangladesh and OIC members, states, and the United Nations to act as our guarantors in this process. Most importantly, the assurance must include the full citizenship rights, the accountability for the crimes committed against us, and the involvement of us in the repatriation process. The world has shown us immense sympathy, for which we are grateful, always grateful. But sympathy alone cannot rebuild a nation. We need action to rebuild. Action rebuilds, accountability rebuilds, justice rebuilds. So we need action now, and we need accountability now. We want justice. We want justice, and stakeholders. We, the Rohingya people, want to return home. Bangladesh is not our country. We are guests here, and we will go back to our home. We want to go back home. And we do not wish to remain refugees here forever. We appeal to the international community and all stakeholders, please work to ensure justice, accountability, and genuine political solution in Myanmar. And please help us make our reputation possible, not just possible, but meaningful, dignified, and permanent. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now we would like to invite our next speaker, Mr. Hujjatullah. He is also complete his bachelor, master on pharmacy. He is now working on relevant his subject. Now your flow.
Dear Excellencies, distinguished leaders, and respected guests, today, a Rohingya girl is standing before you who have faced genocide at the age of 10. I am deeply honored to speak here today on behalf of every Rohingya refugee who have faced genocide, persecution, and displacement for decades. We are a people, a strip of our genocide, a strip of our homeland, our rights, and our dignity. We dream of returning to our Myanmar, but today, that return is impossible. Myanmar offers us no safety, no recognition, and no justice. Our citizenship was deliberately revoked. Our villages were burned, our homes destroyed, our families killed. Those remains in Myanmar under suffocating restrictions, denied education, denied healthcare, and and even the freedom to walk from one village to another village. To return under such condition would not mean going home. It would be returning to oppression for us. For us, true return requires guarantees that go beyond words. We cannot entrust our future to the same authorities who carry out atrocities against us. True safety, security will exist when the Rohingya are empowered to protect themselves and communities. This means training, knowledge, self-defense, and self-determination. Systems that allow us to defend our homes, our families, and our people. It means ensuring we have the ability to respond to danger, to prevent harm, and to stand strong in the face of threats. Our women were raped by the Myanmar military in 2017. Our fathers and brothers could do nothing but watch. Why? Because we are denied the means to defend ourselves. If we had the empowered, such crimes could never happen. Never again should Rohingya be left helpless in the face of violence. We must prepare our people physically, mentally, and politically to return to our homeland as rightful citizens, not as a silent victim. We need the power to answer every genocider, every persecutor on equal ground. We must prepare our people. We demand self-defense, self-determination, and equality, not for sympathy. We demand the chance to protect our communities, to safeguard our families, to power to raise our children in peace. Self-insurance comes from international community and the United Nations peacekeeper and nation committed to justice. But true safety comes from us, a strong, prepared, and empowered. Today, nearly 1 million Rohingya live in Cox's Bazar refugee camp, behind barbed wire fence, surviving but not living. And crisis goes beyond Bangladesh. Rohingya who fled to Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and India, facing detention, trafficking, and deportation. Why have the Rohingya been scattered across borders for years and years? It is because international community has been unwilling to act decisively. Their silence and inaction allowed our suffering to continue. The international community knows the meaning of words genocide and persecution, but we, the Rohingya, have felt, tasted, and survived the unspeakable reality of genocide. Let me be clear, we are not refugees by our choice. We are refugees because justice abandoned us and we forced to be refugees. We are not asking for sympathy or charity from the international community. We are demanding dignity or rights to live and equipment to empower and defend ourselves. Myanmar government must give us back what we own: our homes, our land, our freedom, our dignity. Justice must not be delayed. Impunity guarantees repetition, and repetition means more lives destroyed. Do not let another generation of Rohingya grow up without a home, without hope, and without a future. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, our speaker. Now we have another speaker. The topic is what is your life in refugee camp and what kind of changes do you want to see in the future in terms of shelter and education and health care. Everyone know we have been facing so many difficulties in the refugee camp, overcrowded and limit with health facilities, proper access to education. What we are getting education opportunity in the refugee camp is all are the informal and like very basic level. It is the time in that the concern of our generation future in the refugee camp. To discuss and to talk with us about experience of the refugee life is called Mr. Hujudullah. Please welcome.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Honorable guests, respected brothers and sisters, thank you for giving me the floor to speak on this important dialogue session on behalf of my community, the Rohingya community. I want to share some experiences about the camp life. Life in the camp is a daily struggle. We depend on aid for survival, but most of the support is short-term and reactive. Families live with uncertainty, restrictions on movement, and very limited opportunities. The delay in repatriation combined with absence of justice and accountability created deep psychological stress among the community. For new arrivals, life is even harder, as they often lack the shelter support and their children are denied access to learning centers.